Thor is dead. His hammer lies cracked in the dirt, still humming with energy. The sky hasn't thundered since. Only one energy trace was found near the body. Kryptonian. Superman vanished the same night. No farewell. No message. Just gone. Now the Avengers want answers. Fury calls it a hunt. Stark calls it a mistake. But Batman? He calls it what it really is. A war between gods. The hunt begins the silence after thunder. It had been 4 days since the hammer fell. No thunder. No lightning. Just silence. The body of Thor Odinson lay in a sealed containment vault under New Asgard. Energy readings from his wounds told one impossible truth. Kryptonian heat signatures. The world was furious. The gods were mourning. And Superman was gone. The Council. Inside the rebuilt Avengers Tower, the air was heavier than the rain outside. Holograms of leaders flickered around Nick Fury's command table. Thor is dead. We have confirmation the strike came from above the troposphere, Fury said flatly. No one else could move that fast or hit that hard. Tony Stark leaned forward. We've got one possibility: possession, manipulation, something alien tech-based. Clark Kent doesn't just vaporize a thunder god and vanish. Wanda muttered from a corner, "You don't know what grief can turn into." "And you do." Stark shot back. Before the argument could escalate, the room dimmed. A new voice cut through the static, deep, dry, precise. "Enough." Batman stepped out from the shadow of the briefing hall. His black armor gleamed faintly under the flickering light. "I've been tracking him for 72 hours, he said. "No communications. No orbital trail. But he is leaving something behind, electromagnetic rifts, like someone tearing holes through space to hide." Stark blinked. "You've been tracking a god through wormholes? Alone?" Batman didn't smile. "I don't need sleep. You do." The assignment. Fury dropped a holographic map onto the table. "We do this clean. Controlled. Containment, not execution. We bring him in alive." Stark scoffed. "Yeah, good luck explaining that to the big green guy." At that, the ground trembled. The elevator door burst open, metal buckling as Hulk stepped in, not raging, not shouting. Calm. Cold. Focused. He looked straight at Stark. "You point. I smash." Batman watched silently, reading Hulk's posture. He's angry. But not at Superman. Hulk's jaw clenched. Thor was family. That was enough. The team was formed. Team Omega-1. Hulk. Iron Man, Batman. Their mission: find Superman. Capture him. Discover the truth. Clues in the sky. They started where it ended. The crater in Norway. Waves of residual energy still rippled through the soil. Stark scanned the readings through his wrist HUD. Definitely Kryptonian, but mixed with Asgardian lightning residue. Like the two energies collided head-on. Hulk knelt beside the blast mark, fingers tracing the melted ground. "This isn't rage. This is fear." Batman's eyes narrowed. "Fear." Hulk nodded. "When Hulk kills, he destroys." This strike was clean. Fast. Precise. Like he was stopping something before it spread. Stark frowned. Or covering his tracks. Suddenly, Batman's wrist device beeped. A red flare on the satellite scan. South Atlantic. An energy burst identical to the one here. Superman had surfaced for 0.6 seconds. Then gone. The chase. The Quinjet tore through the clouds. Stark piloted manually, while Batman decoded the pulse pattern. "These coordinates repeat every 2 hours, Batman said. "He's using the planet's magnetic field to phase jump. It's Kryptonian stealth tech, repurposed." Hulk leaned forward. "You think he's hiding?" Batman shook his head. "No, he's running from something." Outside, thunder rumbled, but it wasn't weather. A shockwave ripped across the jet's hull. Stark fought the controls. Incoming. A streak of red and blue blurred past the cockpit, fast enough to warp the air itself. "He's here." Hulk roared and leapt straight out of the aircraft. The jet spiraled as Batman steadied himself, activating flight stabilizers in his armor. Below them, in the middle of the Atlantic, two forces collided. The clash. Hulk hit first. The ocean exploded upward, steam and lightning everywhere. Superman caught the punch mid-swing, water spiraling around them in slow motion. Their eyes locked. No words, just memory. Then came the shockwave. Iron Man dove in, firing an energy net. It wrapped around both Titans, until Superman unleashed a single pulse of heat vision that sliced through it like silk. Batman landed on a floating wreck and spoke through comms. Hulk, restrain. Stark, do not fire, lethal. Superman looked directly at Batman. You shouldn't have come. Then stop making me chase you, Batman replied. Superman's expression changed. Pain, not anger. He wasn't supposed to die. The truth in the eyes. Superman wasn't glowing red now. His skin flickered with faint golden fractures, like cracks of light leaking out. Stark scanned from the air. He's destabilizing, energy bleeding from his cells. Hulk growled. What did you do to Thor? Superman didn't answer. He just whispered. It wasn't me. The water around him boiled, not from heat vision, but radiation. Batman saw it first, an outline forming behind Superman, like a shadow cast in light. Something inside his aura. The intrusion. Tony, Batman barked. Look behind him. There's a secondary life form overlaying his field. Stark magnified the image, a faint silhouette moving independently of Clark's body. Oh no, Stark muttered. That's not Kryptonian. That's alien psionics, a parasite. Superman clutched his head, voice breaking. It used Thor first. I tried to stop him. It jumped to me. The ocean erupted again. Hulk lunged forward, holding him down as blue fire burst from Superman's chest. Batman slammed an EMP spike into the water to drain the magnetic surge. Tony fired a containment field around them both. For 3 blinding seconds, the world flashed white. Aftermath. When the light cleared, Superman floated unconscious. The shadow entity flickered once in the distance before dissolving into the clouds. Stark hovered over the scene, breathing hard. We have him. Batman's tone was grim. No. We have what's left of him. Hulk lifted Superman's body gently. He said it used Thor. Batman looked toward the horizon. Then Thor wasn't murdered. He paused. He was the first host. The truth behind the death magnifying glass tilted left the scan. Stark hovered above the Atlantic ruins, the wind tearing across the sea. Superman lay on the jet's platform, unconscious, but not calm. Inside the suit, Tony's voice cracked. Jarvis, scan his vitals again. Gamma distortion. Psionic displacement. Cellular bleeding. Unknown patterns repeating across neural core. The AI replied. Batman's voice cut in from the jet's rear. He's infected. Something foreign is controlling parts of his brain. Hulk stood at the edge, fists clenched. Tell me it's not true. Tell me Clark didn't choose this. Tony replied. Eyes still on the screen. He didn't. But he did something even worse. Brain, the memory extraction. Using Kryptonian medtech pulled from the fortress years ago, Stark initiated a neural playback, a visual reconstruction of Superman's final memory with Thor. The room dimmed. A hologram unfolded. Thor and Superman standing in the skies over Iceland. Alone. Mid-conversation. You've been infected, Cal, Thor said gravely. I know, Superman replied. But it's not just me. It jumped from you. Thor gritted his teeth. I contained it. Until it found you. You are stronger prey. No. You're wrong. I can fight it. You won't. It wants control of Earth's most powerful being. Then help me, not fight me. I'm sorry, brother. With no further warning, Mjolnir rose. The sky exploded with lightning. Thor attacked first. High voltage, the god battle. The visual memory blurred from speed. In 1 second, Thor was upon Kal-El, striking, throwing lightning, calling Bifrost. Superman didn't fight back until he had no choice. They flew into the upper atmosphere, tearing holes in the clouds. The parasite's shadow shimmered behind Superman, whispering into his ear. He fears you. End him before he ends you. Thor screamed, resist it. But by now Kal's eyes were red. He screamed back. I am resisting. Mjolnir struck Once more. Then heat vision. Straight to Thor's heart. Skull and crossbones, the death of a god. Silence. Thor fell. Lightning gone. Sky still. The memory cut off. In the jet, Hulk slammed his fist into the wall, metal twisting. He tried to hold back, and he still killed him. Batman stared blankly. He didn't fail. He was set up. The parasite revealed. Tony cross-analyzed the energy patterns from Thor and Cal's bodies. Something inside them was repeating, a frequency like a code. These aren't random infections, Stark muttered. This is tactical. Batman nodded. This isn't possession. It's programming. They traced the signal back to a distant Kryptonian probe orbiting Earth, one nobody knew existed. Inside, nothing mechanical, just a dark red crystal, humming with psionic radiation. Zorvalin, Batman whispered. The ancient entity trapped in thought. Stark blinked. What? Not a creature. A concept. A parasite that only survives by transferring between the powerful. It hides inside guilt, regret, power. It used Thor. Now it's feasting on Superman's grief. DNA what Thor tried to do. Later in New Asgard's vaults, the team was granted access to Thor's private logs, magical etchings stored in lightning-infused runes. One message stood out, activated only by Bruce Banner's gamma signature. If you're reading this, then I failed. The enemy wears no face, no body. It whispers. It infects. It almost made me destroy New Asgard. Kal-El stopped me. Then it jumped into him. I fear he will not survive it. He may kill me to protect you. If he does, know that it was my will. Forgive him. Save him. Burn this truth before it burns the realms. The team fell silent. Wanda, listening through comms from base, whispered. He gave his life to stop a lie. Link the collapse. Back on the jet, Superman awoke. Weak. Shaking. His voice was broken. Did I kill him? Batman walked forward slowly. Yes. But it wasn't your fault. Then whose was it? Kal asked. We're about to find out, Bruce replied. Suddenly, every screen in the jet flickered. A new signal appeared. A deep, chilling frequency that didn't use words. Then a voice, deep and ancient. Your resistance amuses me. Tony looked at Bruce. Was that? Batman nodded. Zorvalin. It knows we're hunting it. Cal's face darkened. Then let it hear this. I'm done running. Cross swords the vow. Superman stood, unstable but defiant. If this thing is inside me, then I'll burn it out. Or die trying. Tony loaded a new reactor core into his suit. Then we're going to need more than fists. Batman adjusted his gauntlet. I've already started building it. Hulk nodded. When do we hit back? Kal looked out the window at the moonlit clouds. Now. The entity in the shadows, rocket, the mission plan. Beneath Avengers Tower, the war room was alive with holograms, orbit patterns, dimensional rift scans, energy trails. Superman stood at the center, arms crossed, eyes glowing faintly, not with power, but exhaustion. Every second, the parasite still pulsed within him. Batman typed rapidly. Zorvalin is not a creature. It's a waveform. It rides power, corrupts minds, and grows stronger every time it makes someone destroy something they love. Iron Man zoomed in on a satellite image, a breach point above the Arctic Circle. There's a distortion in this region. The same signal pattern that triggered when Thor fell. But stronger. Cal's voice was low. That's where I go. No, Batman said. You're the target. It wants to finish its cycle by breaking you completely. We need to hit it first. Hulk pounded his fist into his palm. So we smash it before it jumps again. Tony added, and we trap it inside a containment field. I built a chamber designed to drain psionic frequencies from Kryptonian tissue. Kal raised an eyebrow. You built that just in case. Tony smirked. I build everything just in case. Cloud with snow, the Arctic trap. Hours later, in a snowy wasteland under white daylight, the team arrived. The location, an abandoned SWRD outpost, hidden beneath the ice, repurposed now for the trap. Stark had rebuilt the base in less than a day, reinforced titanium walls, heat dampeners, psi blockers. It was less a fortress and more a psychic cage. Cal hovered outside. His breath frosted the air, but his eyes remained fixed on the center of the chamber, the stasis pod. Batman handed him a neural inhibitor. Once you're inside, we activate the sequence. If it tries to escape, we isolate your consciousness. Cal nodded. What if it's too strong? Batman's voice dropped. Then, you'll have to trap it with you. Hulk looked at them both. No one's dying. Not again. Brain, inside the chamber. Cal stepped inside. The door sealed. A hum of energy built around him. Blue lines etched into the floor like Kryptonian runes. Suddenly silence. Then static. Then screaming. The chamber lights flickered red as Cal collapsed, eyes rolling white. Tony shouted, "It's breaching already. Lock it down." Batman slammed the trigger. Cal's body rose, glowing from within, a silhouette of light, fighting to hold itself together. Then another voice echoed from his mouth, deep, guttural, inhuman. "You thought you could trap me? I am older than your gods, stronger than your sons. I am the voice behind their fears. I am Zorvelin. Zorvelin speaks." The chamber filled with flickering visions, each one projected from Cal's mind. Thor gasping on the ground. Wanda screaming. Batman burned in the Batcave. Hulk surrounded by fire. Stark dead in his own suit. Each one a lie. Each one designed to break their minds. "It's trying to infect all of us." Tony yelled, backing away. But Batman didn't move. "Don't fight the vision. Anchor to reality. Stay focused." Cal screamed from inside. "I can't hold it." Then, suddenly, a memory surfaced from Cal's core, Lois. Her voice. Her laugh. Her touch. Zorvelin flinched. Stark noticed. That's it. Emotion grounded in love. It can't twist it. Collision, the entity detaches. Using the emotion as a weapon, Cal pushed back. "I'm not your host," he growled. "I'm your prison." Zorvelin screamed through him. His skin cracked with golden light. Then it happened. A dark mass erupted from Cal's body, clawing into the air like smoke in reverse. Zorvelin, for the first time, had a shape. A black, horned figure, shimmering with psychic fire. It roared. "You broke the bond." Hulk roared louder. "Then it's my turn." He leapt into the chamber, slamming Zorvelin into the wall. "Now," Batman shouted. Tony fired the Cynet. A web of blue lightning wrapped around the shadow, tightening. DNA the containment. Zorvelin fought, screamed, shifted. It tried to leap back into Cal. But Batman threw the final lock, a spike of pure grief code taken from Thor's own final message. "You fed on guilt. Now drown in his." Zorvelin convulsed, shrieked, then collapsed into light. The chamber slammed shut. Inside, silence. Outside, everyone held their breath. Then Cal opened his eyes. "I'm still me." Tony collapsed to the ground, laughing. About time something actually worked. Satellite fallout. 2 days later, back at Avengers Tower, the world learned the truth. Cal went public with the confession. He showed the parasite, showed Thor's final words, took full responsibility for trying to stop it. Some believed him, some didn't. But the world saw him again, not as a killer, but as a savior who was almost destroyed by something none of them could see. Dove, the final scene. At Thor's memorial, Superman stood in silence. He placed Mjolnir, cracked but still sacred, on the stone. It didn't move. He didn't try to lift it. Beside him stood Hulk, Tony, Batman. Then Cal whispered, to no one but the wind. He died fighting darkness. I lived with it. That's the difference. He looked to the sky. Clear. Silent. No more parasites. But many scars. The world reacts television, global shock. The world had just watched a god fall. Then watched the man who killed him survive. Every news channel, every feed, every satellite beam carried the same broadcast. Superman infected. Controlled. But he fought back. Thor knew. Thor forgave. Some believed it. Others didn't. Protests ignited in London. Candles lit in Asgard. Murals of Thor rose across Earth. Justice for the Thunderer trended globally. But even louder were the debates. Should Superman ever be trusted again? Was he still himself when he killed Thor? What if it happens again? Superhero heroes divided. Inside the Avengers Tower, tension cracked every wall. Wanda stood in front of the holographic council. I felt the parasite when I touched the containment. It was pure psychic rot. It wanted chaos. It enjoyed forcing pain. Falcon crossed his arms. So we're just supposed to forgive Clark? Bruce Banner, now calm and composed, responded. No, we don't forgive him. We believe him. There's a difference. Stark added, he's already punishing himself harder than we ever could. Batman said nothing. But when asked directly if Superman should remain active, he said only, he's dangerous. But so am I. Sometimes the dangerous are the ones who save you. S.H.I.E.L.D. the return speech. They gave him a chance to speak. Not from a podium. Not in a press room. But from Thor's memorial site. No guards. No armor. Just Clark Kent. Cape folded, shirt buttoned. The world watched. I don't expect you to forget what happened. I can't either. I live with it. Every breath I take reminds me of the moment I failed, and the moment I fought to make it right. Thor gave his life to stop a darkness that hides in us all. Rage, fear, guilt. I let it in, but I didn't let it win. From now on, I fight only for the light, even if I have to do it alone. A long silence, then a slow clap from behind the camera. Tony Stark stepped into frame. You won't be doing it alone. Satellite antenna, the message from space. Just as the world began to breathe again, a new signal emerged. SWRD picked it up first. A satellite's feed glitched, then showed an image. A burned sigil. Not Kryptonian. Not Asgardian. Batman translated it. That's not a message, it's a warning. The symbol meant consumption. Superman's voice turned low. Zorvelin wasn't alone. Cross swords, the new threat. The final SWRD report arrived. A secondary parasite has awakened. Latched to another source. Not on Earth. Not even in this galaxy. It's coming. The Avengers reconvened. Stark said. So we finished one infection and triggered another. Superman asked quietly, how long do we have? Batman stared at the signal pattern. Not long. Hulk cracked his knuckles. Then we hit harder. So no one else has to fall like Thor did. Direct hit, the final plan. The council issued one last decision. Superman was reinstated. Not as a god. Not as a savior. But as a man, one who fell, got back up, and now walks with the scars of what it cost. The mission: intercept the new parasite before it reaches Earth. Stop it in space. Before it finds another host. Kal looked toward the stars. It wants power. This time it can have mine. But it won't survive it. The light beyond the rift rocket the launch. The sky above Earth shimmered with swirling light as the final launch sequence began. Avengers Tower had transformed into a cosmic operations hub. In the center of the launch pad stood Superman, wearing a new suit, deep black with silver edges, designed to absorb and reflect interdimensional energy. Beside him, Tony Stark adjusted a wrist controller. This suit's a battery. You'll pull the parasite in and burn it out from the inside. Kal asked quietly, and if I can't hold it? Stark smirked, but his eyes betrayed worry. Then the stars will know what sacrifice really looks like. Batman stepped forward. We're coming with you. Kal shook his head. No. This is mine to end. Thor died trying to save me. I'm finishing what he started. Milky Way entering the rift. As the ship pierced the stratosphere, the breach opened. A dark, swirling void in space, like a wound in the universe. Superman stood alone at the edge of it. Inside, the second parasite. Bigger, hungrier, waiting. He whispered Thor's name, then flew in. Brain inside the mindstorm. Within the void, there was no space, only memory and chaos. Voices echoed. Lois crying. Thor screaming. Zorvelin laughing. But Kal focused. He thought of Earth. Justice. His mother's hands. His father's last words. The first sunrise he ever saw. And then, he saw the parasite. It looked like a star, burning, alive, but dripping with tendrils of guilt and grief. It hissed, "You brought me more power. You came willingly. Now we are one." Cal smiled. "No. Now you burn." He flew into it. Fire the final flame. Across the galaxy, the parasite's body expanded, roared, fought. But within Cal, it hit a wall. The suit activated. Every memory, every guilt, every scar fed into light. Thor's last words replayed in Cal's head. "Power doesn't make you worthy. What you do with it does." And with that, Cal released everything. The parasite screamed one last time. Then, silence. Globe showing America's back on Earth. A single streak of light shot across the sky. Then another. People looked up. A child pointed. "Is that him?" At Avengers HQ, a sensor beeped. Banner checked the readings. One signature, coming back. The portal opened. Smoke. Sparks. And then, Superman stepped out. Torn suit. Glowing chest. But alive. Hulk smiled. "You look terrible." Cal replied, "You should see the other guy." Tony held out a hand. "So, you done saving galaxies now?" Cal took it. "For today." Cross swords, Thor's legacy. Later, a quiet service was held again, at the same memorial. This time, Cal lifted Mjolnir. Not to wield it, but to place it on a new pedestal, beside his own house of El Crest. Engraved below, "He gave me his thunder. I gave him my vow." Superhero final moment. In the last scene, Cal stood on the watchtower, looking at Earth. Batman approached. "The people are still scared." Cal nodded. "They should be. I almost became the thing I swore to fight." Bruce looked at him. "But you didn't." Cal. "Not alone." Cut to black. Cyclone the end.